Hello, everyone. Welcome to your weekly wellness oracle card reading. This is going to be for the week of June 14th, 2021. And I can't believe that we're already into the middle of the month. Now, I know that we just had the solar eclipse new moon in Gemini on Thursday of this last week. So I am curious to know. Let me know in the comments if you felt the effects or if you did a ceremony, set any intentions, anything like that. I'm very curious to know. I had a beautiful ceremony and set some things in motion that I hope will do me well for this next 6-month cycle. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Erin. Thank you so much for stopping in today and seeing what I'm all about here. And if you have been here before and you're returning, thanks so much for coming back. I really, really appreciate you guys stopping by again. And I hope that you find some useful information, as always, this week. So let's get into it, shall we? Use those chapter markers if you need to jump around. If you'd like to stay for the breathing, let's do that. We're going to breathe in through our nose, out through our mouths, right? Big inhale. And then an exhale that's longer than the inhale. You can make a noise if you need to, if that feels like something you need to do. Sometimes that helps to ground us or bring us more aware of our surroundings, of our bodies, where we're at right now, right? And that's perfectly fine. You can do, when you inhale, you can envision love or light or healing or peace of mind. When you exhale, just try to exhale all of the worries and the cares and the troubles of the day so that you can take a few moments for yourself and really be able to hear the messages that resonate the best with you so that you can really make the most of this reading. All right, so if you need to have more time to breathe, please do take that, okay? It's totally fine. I'll be here when you get back. You can pause it for as long as you want, and I will still be here. So amazing. All right, and if you are ready to move on, let's set an intention. Now, I like to set intentions because it just kind of solidifies what you're trying to do here. I think that it helps you to hear a little, like if you're looking for particular information in a certain area in your life or circumstance or a situation that you're in, I just feel that it helps to really set in your body so that if that message comes up for you in this reading, which it likely will, if you're here, it likely will, then it will resonate really, it will ring loud and true for you, and there'll be no doubt about it. So let's set an intention. It can be for whatever you want, right? As long as it's of positivity and the highest good of all, then it's probably going to work out really well for you. And I will go ahead and set an intention for all of us who who really aren't familiar with the intention setting process, or just like to have, just want to chill. That's cool too. I'm down with that. So the intention that I will set for us today is much like the one I set every time because it seems to be tried and true and work really well. And I will set an intention that this reading resonate with us, that we will find the messages that we most need to hear this week so that we can be in touch with our body, so we can tap into that inner wisdom and knowing that we all have within us, and use that to lead us with purpose and clarity through this next week. So be it, and so it is. Snap to that. All right, let's light this candle. It's beautiful, wonderful. Oh, my goodness. She's like, I ain't ready yet. You got to give me some more of that juice. All right. Hooray. All right, so it took us 2 attempts to light the candle, which is totally fine. It's no big deal. But to me, that signifies a little bit of resistance, right? Maybe a little bit too hurry. So we're going to be calm and cool today. I can do that. I know it. I might not have shown that in the past. I might have got a little hyped up. But I'm feeling kind of chill today, so I think it'll be all right. All right. So let's get busy. Oh, shibbity shabbity shoobity. So these say solidity and completion. So these aren't the cards I'm going to use because I know that there's another one in here that we need to do, but just for whoever was wondering about who is ever feeling that they are not completely grounded in what they're trying to do right now, you need to be your inner self needs to be solidified. So I'm hearing that you will know what that means, but you need to go within yourself and be solid and know for sure what you're doing. This completion, Wes, some of us are completing something's coming to an end, and you're ready to see what's going on with that. But for me, what I'm hearing here is the completion part of this aspect is allowing you to start moving on to something new. It was something that is in you're working on in tandem with what is coming up. So there is something that you have completed that you needed to in order to move forward with something else. So there. So that's a message for a couple of you. And now we'll get down to the reading. Thank you, Spirit, for those messages for whoever it was that needed to hear those. I hope that you have received them. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to, first of all, do the general elemental energy that we will be working with, or that will be present with us this week, that will help us to just do what we need to do in order to be balanced and have that whole self-wellness that we talk about. If you don't know what whole self-wellness is, you can check out one of the other videos. I talk a little bit about it. So we have Power Volcanoes, number 9. All right, that is a fierce card, right? Okay, so this being here that is coming up from, it's like they're rising from the fire. It's not the ashes, right? We're coming to the surface. Things are coming up, but this being is being showered with golden light and coming up from the lava and the fire, like coming out of the turmoil or the explosive situation. But they are cool with that. They have like, you know what? Here I am here. You can't get at me because I know who I am and I know what makes me feel at peace. I'm liking that. I am liking that so much. All right. So obviously some fire energy we're going to be working with. And I believe Leo is present, like in Mars or something this week. So, and Leo is of course a fire sign. So, and Mars is like air, is also reminds me of, fiery kind of activity. So appropriate, nothing to worry about, right? But this makes me feel like there's some calm in that, right? That it will help us to figure out another piece of the puzzle to us that we are looking for. So let's go ahead and look at the moon card that we want to know about. And this is a time for hiring. A time for hiring. Who's getting hired this week? So this is kind of the emotional energy. This is the way I use these cards in this reading, is kind of the emotional energy that we will need to deal with this week, okay? And this is a time for healing, the balsamic moon right here. And then we also have adjustments are required, the third quarter moon. All right, and that makes perfect sense, especially when we have this card. This looks like that's what they're doing. They're in the middle of this fire, but they still have this very serene, healing kind of attitude towards them. So whatever this is, I'm hearing fear not about that, because you're just healing right now. That's all it is. You're looking within. There's stuff that you have been working on or wanting to work on that is starting to happen right now. And you're just going to be making adjustments to those areas that are that bring up the feeling like it's just a lot of tension that I'm feeling in this fiery kind of thing, and like triggers and setting off things like that. That's what I'm feeling right now. So the adjustments required, I am hearing that the adjustments will be towards how you handle yourself in those situations, and that you're really healing so that you don't like snap off, right? Like pop off at the mouth, or automatically have a reaction instead of responding to somebody. You don't automatically just react. And because once we start to react, right, then it's really hard to calm ourselves back down. So this is telling me that you're going to be taking some time to explore how you can handle yourself the way you want to handle these situations. And because you don't like the popping off and having this huge reaction, you want to be more calm to be able to take these situations and circumstances into consideration so that you can respond to them in a different way and let all of the other past stuff go so you can move on to bigger and better things. Much like when those two cards popped out at the beginning when we were looking at being solid within ourselves and coming to a completion, right? So you're trying to complete. You're coming to an end of that. You know what I'm hearing that you're knowing what your triggers are. You're knowing what that situation is, and you're just you're just adjusting it a little bit so you can move on from that, because you're done. You're done with that. You don't want to have anything to do with that anymore, and that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. So let's get the animal spirit that we'll be working with this week. Grasshopper spirit, take a leap of faith. Yes, I love that. Grasshopper spirit, he's fun to me. I have to tell you what, he's a lively fella. You know what I'm saying? He's jumping around. He's always hopping here and there and everywhere. He jumps really high sometimes, and I don't know if he knows where he's going to land. Like, how can you know when you're just like binging and boinging and banging all over the place? I don't know. But Grasshopper spirit knows that he's going to land wherever he needs to land. And that's just that. And if he misses his mark, then he has faith that it was for a reason, and he'll be brought back in the next leap to where it will make more sense. And maybe he just needed a detour, right? Maybe he needed a snack, and he wasn't realizing that he was hungry and his body needed the nourishment to keep going forward. So he was thinking he was going to pop over here, and something bopped him down onto this beautiful little leaf that he can have a little chow down on so he can continue on nourished and renewed and healed, right? Makes sense to me. And I hope it makes sense to you. All right, so let's go ahead. And this just was left over, so 32 music. It's not the card that everybody needs this week, but I'm hearing that somebody is needing to explore. Somebody's thinking more about music. I don't know if it's because they want to be an artist in that area of making music, singing, joining the band. I don't know, maybe doing some sound therapy, something like that. But for whoever is wondering about music, then explore it, and also take the grasshopper's advice and take a leap of faith. You don't have to do anything crazy, but make an educated. Be educated in your thinking about it, but then, if it feels like you need to take a leap of faith, then you need to do that. And it's okay. All right, let's get the number energy that we are going to be working with. And I am a firm believer that numbers are very important, and they bring strong messages. Right here. Okay, surrender, number 91. And that to me goes so well with this grasshopper spirit when it's talking about taking a leap of faith, and also this beautiful being here looks to me in a state of surrender. Like, you know what? Do what you got to do. I have surrendered. I'm not going to take on anything right now. I am waiting to see what happens, because I have faith that I will end up where I need to be when all of this swirling and whirling and fiery stuff has calmed down and cooled into that hard rock, right? I will be standing strong and have a knowing, right? Have a solidity within me. And so we're going to need to surrender. So you're going to just have to let it go. And surrendering means just that. Like, you have got to give it to God. You can call it however you want, whatever you resonate with. You have to surrender because you're going to need to know how to handle yourself in these situations for further on your journey, because this is what's, you're going to have to come up across. You may come up to some of these situations, and if you can't respond correctly to them, then it could cause you some setbacks. And when I got that completion card earlier, like, I don't think that's the way it's supposed to happen. It doesn't feel that that's the way it's supposed to happen. And whether you feel that way or not, now that's a different story. But my feeling is that what's happening right here is that you will hopefully be able to surrender to what's happening and not have to keep going back to that, because maybe it's happened for a while now and it's just time to let that stuff go, right? And our consciousness card, we got this last time. Almost always when we do these consciousness cards, I could be shuffling like a mofo, but I almost always get the card we got the week before. And so, just a reminder, I guess. So we got the nature spirits, and then we got the sacred space. So the nature spirits is, I respect all of nature's elemental beings and help preserve life on earth. And the sacred space is, I find peace, security, and contentment when surrounded by nature's beauty. So this to me is telling me to just not only to be out in nature, what's standing out to me is to not forget about the beauty of it. Like, don't go outside and you're going out in nature because you are trying to, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to be grounded. I'm going to go outside and I'm going to feel connected. That's what I'm going to do. Like, don't go out with an agenda. Don't go out into nature with an agenda. Go into a sacred space go outside and see and feel and experience the beauty. Where are you drawn to? Okay. And then make a choice to go there where you're being led, and just treat it as a sacred space where you can find peace and solace and be able to just be there and not have to worry about having a certain thing happen, but you can just be you and just be at one with where you're at right now. Okay. To me, that feels like a profound kind of thing. Like, I think that I'm feeling that a lot of us are going outside, and that's good, but we're not actually taking advantage of what that experience can really offer us when we open up to it. I just side note, we have a 91, so this is a 10, and we got that completion card that popped out. I probably should have kept it, but I remember in my brain. So that's going to have to be good enough. And so that is also a completion, right? So we are, in fact, on a journey this week to complete some aspect that we have been working on so we can continue on in our journey of growth. And then we got this one, we get this one a lot too, and that kind of makes sense. This is plantain, which is nourish. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. Let's just get one more and just see if there's a little bit more information. So we got chamomile soothe, which makes total sense. We're talking about peace, contentment. We're talking about nourishing ourselves, and we're gonna have to soothe that fire, right? We also have this card that's got the fire popping off here, so that makes perfect sense. So before I go too far into that, and this is Clover Nurture that just fell out of my hand. So lots of nurturing, lots of doing things that will make you feel calm and secure and well taken care of. All right. So some of us could be dealing with some stuff, right? That just, it's not, it's doing shadow work and looking at the parts of us that aren't the brightest shining light, or are just, it's never fun, right? But it is indeed necessary, and it just makes your light shine that much brighter and glow more beautifully than ever when you're able to work those little shadow kinks out there, and be able to use them to help you grow in areas of your life that that are going to be important for you to learn new, so you can keep learning new things and going on to that next journey. So it's exciting, but also we're going to need to be really gentle with ourselves, right? That's what I'm feeling. All right, so let's get our self-care card. What do our bodies need here? What do we need to do for self-care this week? Oh, sing. And I got that music card earlier that I showed you. Okay. So somebody likes to sing. I like to sing. I won't do it. All right, I promise. So we got number 45, which is also 9. So we're getting a few 9s. 9, 9, 9. Okay. And so if you're seeing 9s, look into, like I said, I never remember about the number thing because I like to know what they mean, but I'm not like trying studiously to like keep that information in my brain. So if the 9 is resonating with you, then you should look online and find out more information about it. Okay. So, and she's like, this is like having fun singing. This is just like not taking it real seriously. She's got like her hairbrush in her hair. I'm imagining she's using it like a microphone, and she's, got her hair flowing. It's very casual, very just a healing thing. So this to me is to make sure, and singing to me is like kind of a really primal, it can really resonate through your whole being, right? So to me, and it just clears out so much of the gunk and just leaves clarity for me. It just clears out a path to where I can be able to, for myself anyways, I can clear all of the clutter out, all of the energy, all of the stuff that is just, it's just, I can't think of the word that I'm trying to say right now, but all of the things that just keep piling up on you that makes it so you can't really see clearly what's happening, just kind of poofs them all away like magic, and just lets you have a fresh kind of outlook so that you can make better decisions. So I think singing is going to be really important. It doesn't matter if you can't sing. This is not saying you have to get up in front of people and sing a song. But like I said, we did get that music also. So if you are thinking about singing professionally or to use it as a healing kind of modality, then you might be being called to help in that aspect this week. Or look a little more into that, or maybe some opportunity will come to you for that. So that would be amazing. All right. So I think that's great. So let's do the wrap up here. And if the wellness tips start coming out of my mouth, then they do. Let's see what happens. So we're going to be making some adjustments on the shadow areas where we are reacting, right? Where we're reacting really hard. And we're trying to calm that down. We're trying to heal that, right? So that we can just be at peace, and not, because I'm feeling like when we have those responses to people, when we are reacting in a way, it makes us feel shitty afterwards. Like, nobody feels good after you get going and you get on a roll and you're like, snippety snapping at people and saying things that you probably don't really mean, but you're trying to also get that other person to react to you, right? And it happens, and it's not that you have to be ashamed of it or anything like that. It happens to the best of us. So we're going to just be making adjustments to that. We're going to be healing that. We're putting an end to it. We're completing that kind of cycle to an end this week. That's what we're trying to work on. And I'm not saying you're going to do it in a week, right? It could take a little longer than a week, but it is a fire energy, so it might go a little faster for you, which would be wonderful. What's really going to help us, though, is to be able to surrender, to just let go and let God, right? Is that, I think that's what the saying is. And just give it up to your higher power, and just like, enough. Like, if you're having trouble and you can't figure it out, then you're just going to have to give it up to your higher power and just let them help you out with that, because even giving it up to your higher power sometimes takes a leap of faith, right? It's not always easy because, I think a lot of us really want to just be self-sustaining, in the sense, not always in the good sense of the word, but like, I can do it on my own. I don't need anybody to help me. I can handle this. It's fine. And this is saying, you know what? You need spirit to help you. Okay? You do. And that's just part of this whole program that we're doing here, this series on the wellness portion of things that I'm trying to do here. Being able to know when you need help and to understand, that's a part of being connected to everything. And I think that for me anyways, part of my journey was because I had become very disconnected to all of that. So that's part of what my journey is. If you wanted to know, now you know. And I think it's really important to be able to me, that was one of the most vulnerable things for me to do, was to surrender everything and to be able to have faith that all was going to be well, and that I was going to end up where I needed to be. That still to this day, it's not like I've been working on it my whole life or nothing, but still to this day, I have trouble in that area sometimes. So for those of you who are having trouble in that area, it's okay. But I am hearing that this is a completion for a lot of us, that we're going to be able to let that go. All right. And then, and I think, and being in a sacred space is going to be important when you're doing that. That's just going to help you to be, right. And, having the respect that you need to have for nature, these two are going hand in hand this week, because you're going to have to be respectful of that beauty, respectful of what you're seeing, of the wonder that happens. Like, because some of this shit that happens in nature is crazy, I don't get a lot of the stuff that happens. Some of it don't even make sense to me, but you know what? That's the way it is. So there you go. So just to know the wonder and the beauty of how things happen and the magic that's there is going to be really important. And then too, of course, but don't be too, and not to be too, clear out that energy with singing or listening to somebody sing, or, just being playful with it if you can by yourself. If you're embarrassed about doing it in front of other people, it's okay to do it on your own, but that's going to help to being in nature and doing that just fun kind of playful singing thing is really going to help to soothe you and clear out all that stagnant, cluttery energy that will help you to just see things more clearly, right? And the nourishing here is, again, I think, it's nourishing your body, but it's really nourishing. It's really just nourishing, like, your energy centers. Like, I just feel like your energetic body just needs to be nourished with a new outlook in the world around you. Being able to use music and singing in a new way to help you heal. So I'm hearing also that some of us like to listen to the stuff that kind of is a lower vibrational kind of music, or makes you feel kind of down, and that's kind of not what we're looking for this week. And I have my songs. I've said it before. I have my music that I like to listen to. That's not always the highest vibing thing, right? But I like it, and sometimes I listen to it because it's okay, it's fine. There's all kinds. I love to explore all kinds of music. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just that the music is going to affect you this week. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. The music is really going to be affecting you this week. So if you can keep it high vibe and things that uplift you and make you feel the way you want to feel, right? Use the music to help you with the feelings you want to feel like this week to help you get to where you need to be. That's what I was trying to get out of my mouth, and that makes a lot of sense. So there you have it. So let's go ahead and do our wellness tips, everybody. Wellness tips. I'm hearing that inflammation is going to be a thing. That's also with the fire. So the chamomile, things like ginger, turmeric, those kinds of herbs will really help to calm down that fire and bring down that inflammation and help you out. Don't eat things that kind of get your stomach kind of rolling in the wrong direction and making you feel kind of or give you heartburn and indigestion. I'm hearing that really loud and clear, like the heartburn and indigestion. Stay away from those foods. You got enough fire going on this week, and we need to stay you don't need to have that irritation, right? You want to have your body being calm, being serene, feeling light, feeling soothed, because you are already going to be dealing with things that are irritating to you on a different level, but you don't need that body, right? We don't need our digestion, our and congestion. I'm hearing congestion. You don't want to feel puffy and all of that. You want to feel fluid to be able to, you want to feel fluid to manage a little bit of that fire. All right. So those are my food suggestions, is to eat those herbs that I said if you can, to help with any inflammatory responses that you've been having. Because those emotions too, when we have those emotions, it can settle in our body and it can cause reactions in our body as well. So I'm also going to say that we need to have our thoughts on point. And when an emotion, and that this is part of reacting and responding, right? When those emotions start coming into us, we need to do our best to take a moment and to just think first. And that's where your adjustments are going to be coming into play, right? And the healing is when you can put that fire out, right? Don't let that fire burn hot. When you get triggered, then that is your cue to take a moment and to put that fire out. What I'm seeing is if you can use, that's part of the thing with this sacred space card, and that's what I'm here. That's what I'm feeling with this beauty, right? The nature's beauty. Go, if you make that a picture in your mind that you can go to. And if you can't go outside and you haven't found that sacred space, then do a meditation that will help you to find a sacred space for yourself so that you can use that as a way to calm you down, to bring a little bit of ease to that flame that fires up inside of you when you are feeling like you're going to have a reactive moment, right? We want to use that to just kind of settle you down a little bit, take a breath, and then you're, for whatever situation you're in, you're going to have to, of course, the adjustments, right? The adjustments that are required is going to be you doing some journaling, asking questions, doing some meditations, whatever you need to do that helps you to understand. And then, but the key really is going to be to surrender. And that is not an easy thing. And it for some of us can take some practice to understand, what that means, to release all of the control and to just, and that is also going to help you figure out where those adjustments are needed, is when you much like the singing that I was talking about, clearing out all of the stagnant stuff, the things that don't serve you anymore, letting go of all of the garbage that you tell yourself or think you know, but you really kind of don't, letting go of all of that stuff and just being like, flick, I've had enough of this. I've just had enough. I can't do it anymore. You know, like when you get really irritated and you're just like, you throw your hands up, you're like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. I don't know. I don't care. Finito, right? That's to me, that's like what surrender is, maybe on a little bit more substantial scale, but you know, still that's the way it is. So that's going to be really key. And also, I'm hearing too that you're going to maybe look a little bit at the way you view faith. And so to some of us, the surrender is a thing like you were taught that, or under the impression that you weren't supposed to surrender, that you were strong in yourself and that you didn't need anybody and you weren't supposed to ask for help. And so that for some of us, that's what's going to be healed, and what we're going to have a new outlook on is the fact that, you know what, it is okay to ask for help, and Spirit is always going to be there. Your spiritual team, your angels, you know, whoever you call upon when you need healing, that's what they want you to do, is to give, but you have to give that, right? You have to let go of that, of the control that you have, or you feel that you have over those situations, or that's just not going to happen. So I'm hearing for some of us, that's where those that new perspective is going to be, is finding out how you surrender and have faith that all will be well if you're not in control of that situation the whole time. All right. Okay. And then sing your little butts off. Sing it loud, sing it proud. All right. Or in your bedroom, if you're afraid to sing in front of people, that's fine. I sing to everybody all the time anymore. And my kids love it when I do it. All right. So I think that's everything that I have for you guys. A little long this week. I apologize about that, but this was some good stuff. So I'm excited. Let me know in the comments if you like to sing, and if you are okay just letting anybody hear it, or if you're a little standoffish about that. I have my moments. I'll see you guys again on Wednesday for the midweek check-in, and I will send you off with hugs full of loving and healing energy just for you, because I love you so much. And I'll see you guys real soon. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.